Hi, I'm Dory Lerner, and this is the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, Tennessee. We have another small but mighty story time for you today, where we're going to be reading this awesome book called Speak Up. It was written by Miranda Paul and illustrated by Ebony Glenn. And this book was published by Clarion Books. It is an imprint of Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. So we want to thank Houghton Mifflin Harcourt for permission to share this book today. Speak Up. There are times we should be quiet. There are days for letting go. But when matters seem important, speak up, let others know. And then when you see these words in the book, if you want, you can read them out loud with me. You can speak up too. With so many ways to speak up, like a sign, a smile, a shout. If we could make things better, why not let our words come out? When you're being introduced and they get your name all wrong, speak up, say your name. You are you, and you belong. When someone spreads a rumor and you're sure it isn't true, speak up. State the facts. Truth can open up our view. When a rule just isn't fair or has gotten much too old, speak up. Work for change. Justice comes when we are bold. And look, this is a mural they've painted on the wall with people who have been change makers like Nelson Mandela, Malala Yousafzai, Dr. Martin Luther King, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They were all change makers just like you can be a change maker. When a person wounds another with their words or with their fists, speak up. Be an ally. Safety comes when we persist. If you see someone who's lonely or they're having a bad day, speak up. Share a moment. Kindness goes a long way. Look how each of the kids in the picture, they're diverse or different from one another, and they all have different kinds of food, but it looks like they're sharing, so they get to taste the food that they brought from their homes. When you make a small mistake, even if you didn't know, speak up. Say you're sorry. Learn to listen. Learn to grow. When you have a special day or you're given something neat, speak up. Shout your thanks. Gratitude makes life so sweet. When you're sad or packed with feelings and the world seems dark and gray, speak up. Ask for help. Friendship chases clouds away. When trees and creatures suffer from our quick and careless choices. Oh, look, I think he's littering the ground. Speak up and rally others. Nature needs our mindful voices. Look, these kids are using their voice by doing a neighborhood cleanup. They're picking up the trash that others littered. And look, these folks are planting a garden. Make the neighborhood prettier. When you know a scary secret about someone getting hurt, speak up. Tell a grown-up. Courage sometimes means you blurt. When the group is taking one path, but you know it's not the way. See, they're being unkind, and this person feels bad. We know that's not the way. Speak up. Change directions. Leaders don't always obey. Look, now they're sharing a story time, just like we are. While some people speak up loudly and your words might whisper quiet, one voice can make a difference. So don't hesitate. Go try it. So everyone, this is the idea we want you to keep in mind at the end of this book, is that you can go try it. You can use your voice in so many different ways. So throughout history, there have been lots of people who have carried signs to stand up for things that they believed in. One of them is the right to vote. And there have been many, many times in our nation's history where not everyone was allowed to use their voice and vote. Voting means we're making decisions about who the lawmakers are in our city or our state or our country. And so it's so important that we all use our voice and vote. It's also really important, guys, that we keep in mind that we should stand up for each other's rights. So whether it's the right to vote or whether it is the right to be respected, we can hold signs that tell people what we believe in, right? We can tell signs that let the world know that we are change makers and that we can be the change. We could even wear buttons. I have some buttons on today. I have a rainbow button. I also have some buttons from civil rights history. This one says, "One man, one vote." SNCC, S-N-C-C, that was the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Those were college students who stood up by sitting in at restaurants and lunch counters in 1960 and 61. This one says united. That means to bring people together. And it has a black and white hand shaking hands and says, "We shall overcome." This is from the March on Washington that was in 1963. And then here is a button that we have here at our museum, and we even sell these in our museum store, and it says vote, and it says speak out and join the movement. It has all kinds of cool words on it, like the word cloud you see behind me. Everybody, I thought a really cool activity for today would be to make our own word cloud about all the things that we could speak up for. Now, if you don't want to make a word cloud, you can always make a protest sign, right? All you need to make a protest sign is an index card or some poster board or cardstock, and then a stick, and that could be a straw or a popsicle stick. But you don't have to make a protest sign. You could brainstorm or think about all of the different things that you might make a sign for or make a button for or stand up for. And by the way, when we say stand up and use your voice, it could be that you're singing a song or that you're giving a speech. This is a microphone that was used in history by someone who was giving a speech or giving an interview or maybe even singing a song. So lots of people make music that's about change too. So I want you to think of the ways that you'll stand up for change, whether it's through music or through art, through painting something, maybe making a protest sign or a button. And think of the things that you will stand up for, those issues that are important to you. And that's what we'll put on our word cloud. So on my word cloud, I've written words like equality, freedom, fairness, courage, love, justice, rights. These are all things that I would speak up and speak out for. So friends, think of those things that are important to you and speak up and use your voice in any way that you see fit. And everyone, if you speak up and speak out, then the world will be better off because you used your voice while you were here. Thank you so much for joining us for this special story time. Remember, go out and speak up and speak out. Take care.